Imagine the following situation. There is a conference in your city and lots of folks are coming. All the hotels and motels are packed and there isn't a free room to be had anywhere. You see a couple of designers wanting to attend the conference, but without a place to stay the night. Here you are, currently unemployed and ready to make some extra money. So you ask yourself, why not rent my apartment to these nice people? Exactly, why not? Long story short, this experience helps you make some extra money, but more importantly, inspires you with a great business idea. Welcome to Personality Matters. I am Arthur Camps and today we will be talking about the founders of Airbnb. The people who rented out their apartment to strangers were two friends, Brian and Joe. They were truly inspired that they'd managed to host people at their place for money. They thought that they had a potentially big business idea, so they decided to launch a website, AirBeds&Breakfast.com. As you have probably guessed, the abbreviation Airbnb is derived from the name Airbed&Breakfast. Anyway, the concept of the service was based on offering airbeds and homemade breakfast. Soon, Brian and Joe were joined by another person named Nathan. He became the third of the team of Airbnb founders, and he came up with the business model around the concept. Like most companies, Airbnb was off to a rocky start. The founders tried hard to raise some capital, but all their attempts failed. A couple of times they managed to attract some media attention, but that didn't generate any user traction afterward. Those were definitely hard times, and Brian described the period as the trough of sorrows. He said, "So we're one of the companies that launched many times. We kept doing launches to get a lot of press. If you launch and no one notices, you can actually just keep launching." The first launch was at a design conference with just 3 people. The second one was Airbed conference. We had 2 customers and I was one of them. And the third one was at South by Southwest. To keep the company afloat, they started selling election-themed cereals like Obama O's and Captain's McCain's. That's how they earned $30,000. Later, they received $20,000 of funding from Y Combinator. They decided to use the money to go to New York. Well, not on a vacation, of course. They went to New York because it was their biggest market in terms of hosts. As Brian recalled, during the visit they identified one major issue of their service. The pictures of most listings were of poor quality. Not surprisingly, it was before the era of the iPhone. Not everybody had a powerful camera in their pockets to capture the beauty of their apartments, maybe not only that. So they bought a camera and went from one location to another to take better pictures. In general, the visit to New York was very helpful in terms of getting more traction. People embraced the concept of the company, and Airbnb started taking off as a real business. By March 2009, the company already had 2,500 listings and the number of users close to 10,000. For the next 10 years, Airbnb kept growing and significantly impacting the hotel industry, and in a way, changing our understanding of travel. It's a great combination of a disruptive idea and innovative business model around it. Think about how many opportunities the company opened up for people. First, there is the great flexibility of booking a room or a flat at a reasonable price in any location you want. Most hotels struggle to be in the city center, which makes prices soar. Second, it's a passive income you can earn as an owner from renting out your flat or house to travelers. Third, it's a unique new experience. I bet you said to yourself, "Hey, I've always wanted to live in a house near the lake or rent a castle in the French Riviera." Well, now you can. In fact, Airbnb perfectly embodies the concept of the free market. There is a supply and demand that are naturally regulated only by the participants of the market, as the company has no physical real estate to service. When the market is saturated by the demand, prices go up. Low prices push hosts to keep prices stable or lower expectations. Okay, today we talked about the founders of Airbnb and how they impacted the world with their business idea.